Hello everybody, welcome to the bottom of the Destiny content barrel. So today I'm here to rank which of the Destiny raid slash dungeon bosses that I could definitely beat or would beat me in an oiled up wrestling match. Alright, here we go. Alright, starting off, Galran down here, the Sorrow Bearer. He's touching me, man. Right, so we're pretending for the sake of this video that we are all even size, right? Like I'm 4'3", so we're just gonna say, okay, well, if all these bosses were shrunk down to 4'3", which of them could I be in Galran? Sorrowbarrow, even though he is 4'3", same as me, I don't think I'm touching him. He's touching me. Look at this. He's already walks around with his shirt off, oiled up anyway. He's just waiting for somebody to come into the chambers and just start touching his pecs, man. Like, I don't think there's any amount of baby oil where I could escape his grip, right? Like it doesn't matter. We could be underwater in the Diddy pool, and I'm still getting touched. I'm still getting touched by Galran the Sorrow Bearer. All right, now something I could touch a little bit easier. Whatever this dude's name is from the Skirts the Past, I don't even remember what his name is, but I'm touching the robot. This thing is basically just a big servitor that's been put into a chassis. Like, come on. Like, we're both 4'6", okay? Right, I'm touching it. It doesn't have any arms to grapple. It only has some legs. Admittedly, it has some kicking power, but without any arms, I'm touching. I'm absolutely touching this guy. I win the oiled up wrestling match. Now, here's an absolute cataclysmic touch, okay? Atrax, or whatever this dude's name is, the replicator from Deep Stone Crypt. I am getting touched by him so hard because you all know the saying, right? If one can hold you down, two can, do what to you. So this dude, he duplicates like 9 times. Like, I don't care how strong I am. Like, maybe I could take on 2 of them, but after 3, that's it. I'm just getting touched. Speaking of which, this is going to be one of my more controversial picks on night. Oryx. Oryx is a little bit of a bitch in the mortal world. He's a dude who just entirely bases his entire kit off of just magical abilities. And in the real world, once you take those magical abilities away, what's he doing? Feats, physical feats, getting clowned. He got clowned every single appearance, right? However, he still is a good fighter. He has a sword, but we're just gonna see. I think God will decide this one. It's a 50-50. Now, moving on, right? This is going to be a little bit of a shocking one, but Riven, I think this is going to be a mid-diff touch-off, right? Like, I think that 7 times out of 10, I'm beating Riven in the oiled up wrestle match, because you got to think of it, right? Being of immense power? Nah, man. This is what Riven looks like. This is what Riven looks like when you take away all the magic. This is basically just an enhanced war beast. I don't know about you guys, but I've wrestled with dogs before. I know what it takes. I know what it takes to put a golden retriever in a triangle chokehold. I don't think that Riven is going to be doing anything particularly interesting. And now, okay, moving on. We have one of the daughters of Oryx. I think this one is going to be a little bit tricky, okay? But I think I'm going home touched, okay? I have very sensitive ears. I have bad tinnitus, right? Like the Death Singer here just screams so much that I think that in between the oiled up wrestling, just getting a good yell on my ear would be enough to throw off my equilibrium, right? Pull me out of commission. Same thing with the Death Singers too. The daughters of Oryx, right? They're touching me. There's 2 of them. They're both loud, and honestly, I'm not putting up that big of a fight, if you know what I mean. But all right, Golgoroth. God is going to decide if I can beat Golgoroth. Golgoroth is stumpy, okay? Just a low center of mass. However, Golgoroth is blind, right? Take away the magical taking abilities, right? Like, this isn't like, get Golgoroth on its back, because Golgoroth got the spikes, right? Like, I feel like if you pin Golgoroth, right, if you can manage to get the upper hand, and like these spikes come out, I feel like these spikes are just going to be an additional point of leverage for me, okay? I'm already oiled up. Golgoroth's already oiled up, and then you give me 6 additional leverage points, or 4 additional leverage points on the back. It's over. It is absolutely over. Rare naked choke into a triangle, into an arm break. I'm breaking all these, each and every single one of these. And best part is, I'm oiled up, and Golgoroth's not tapping. Golgoroth is incapable of having the intelligence to know how to tap. Speaking of a being, okay? Speaking of a being that knows how to tap, Callus. Callus is an absolute cakewalk, an absolute cakewalk of a boss, okay? And you say to yourself, oh, Callus oiled up, he loves it. He loves this. He absolutely loves this, right? There's a reason why one of his strongest soldiers are just a bunch of naked, oiled up dudes. Like, look at these dudes, right? Like, these dudes run around. They are naked and they are oiled up and they carry around dual axes. And these guys, if they're around, Callus absolutely loves oiled up wrestling. However, I love it more. So I'm touching Callus, okay? Right? He may touch me a little bit. Let's drop him down because he does have arms. He will fight back. I feel like in the euphoria of winning the oiled up wrestling match, I feel like he may get the upper hand for a second, but like I said, this is like an 80-20, like mid diff. Like this is like a high diff in terms of the oiled up wrestling. Now, speaking of oiled up wrestling, what I'm not losing to, or what I am losing to, I'm losing to Crota. Crota is so abnormally fast, right? This dude, you could tell he wrestled in college. He wrestled in the fundamentum, whatever it's called, whatever the Hive homeworld's called. He and his best friend Atheon were definitely sparring partners. One's green, one's blue. I could take. I don't think I'm taking either of them. Okay, I'm genuinely not taking either of these guys. All right, it's gonna be. I realized I'm probably going home touched. Okay, but I'm not beating Crota. I'm not beating Atheon. They just have the tens of thousands of years of combat experience, and they are demonstrated to have feats that would directly apply to oiled up wrestling. So it's not happening. All right, another enemy I'm beating easily. Whatever this dude's name is, Templar. He doesn't have any arms. He doesn't have any legs. What's he gonna do? Same category as Mr. Robot here. At least the robot here has legs. He can jump. What does Templar have? Templar converted to the real world. 3 feet 9 inches tall. Me versus Templar, both 3'9". I'm beating the Templar. There's so many points for leverage, right? This is an easy one. Same thing with whatever this dude's name is, Agarigos, the final boss from Eater of Worlds. He's getting touched. He is going home touched. I am winning the oiled up wrestling match in that case. Now, in terms of who else I'm beating in an oiled up wrestling match, same category, Morgeth as Golgroth. Just the ogre archetype. The ogre archetype is just something that it's like I'm not confident enough to be able to make that determination on what's going to happen, right? Same thing with the Consecrated Mind down here. Consecrated Mind and Atheon are basically the same person. The only difference is if I get, I feel like this is like a mid diff in their direction. If I could punch out the arms in the middle before I was so rudely interrupted, if I could punch out the arm and the leg for the Consecrated Mind, there's a little hole there, right? That is just a pass through. So I'm sticking my arm in there. I have a little bit of leverage, but I feel like this is one of these like I'm not striking in an oiled up wrestling match. Like I'm just a pure grappler, and this dude is an absolute pure grappler, right, at heart. So it's going to be a little bit tricky. Now, another one I spent a little bit of time thinking about, whatever this dude's name is, Buddy from Spire Stars, whatever it's called. He is one of the few Cabal in the series that actually have aura, right? Like directly challenged Callus, right? So like is a stronger fighter than Callus, 100%. But I feel like with that build, because it's not that he just has a sumo build, it's that he has a sumo build and he's built well. Like he is at the same level as like Galrin when it comes to like oiled up wrestling, right? We already saw him beat the brakes off of a Callus bot. So he definitely knows, he understands the fundamentals of what it takes to roll around in the mud with a real player like me. But I feel like at the end of the day, the jetpacks too, like the jetpack, like it's just a lot. I feel like there should be a new category for an enemy like this, right? Like I'm more than getting touched. Like I'm getting subatomically obliterated into some Johnsons and Johnsons, so he can use me for the next time somebody so foolishly dares to challenge him to a oiled up touch off, right? Some other bosses. Let's see down here. My favorite final boss, even though I don't remember his name, the dude from the End of the Rat the Machine. Now, in his completed form, where he does have those spider legs, like many of the other bosses on this list, each one of those legs is just another opportunity for leverage. He's going off, right? He's going to the very top, man. This is going to be one of the easier fights of the night. I feel like the only thing I'd have trouble with is that he does have arms, but, You could put somebody in a leg lock. You could put somebody in 6 leg locks at the same time, right? Just imagine what that has to do to the psyche, okay? Like, you're a robot. You think you can't feel pain? Lather yourself in some J&J and let's step in the kiddie pool, brother. All right, so couple bosses left. The corporeal beings, you know, the base taken enemies, right? That's like this guy right here. I don't even remember his name. Herald of Finality. I think that's what this dude name in. This dude's from the dungeon, the big taken Centurion from the dungeon. They are actually beings made of pure matter, so like I can't even touch them. Right? They can do whatever they want to me. I almost feel like that they don't deserve a place on this list, like the enemies that have been taken. Same thing with Shirochi right here. Shirochi, same thing as like any other enemy, like taken enemy, can shout. Same thing with the Shirochi's sister right here too. Like they're putting hands on me. They're beating the absolute brakes off me. Like the oil just passes directly through them. Right? I go to like, give me the wrist so I can do like a flip over the head, and it's like I just go to grab the wrist, and there's just nothing there. There is nothing to grab for these taken enemies. Okay, so at least as far as I understand how the taken aspect of them works, right? Like they are more taken than they are regular enemies. So this group of 4 right here, because I don't remember their names, they're beating me in the oil of the wrestling match. Now, War Priest, God will decide. I know, right? I know. Like, oh man, if Oryx is a 50-50, War Priest has to be like just like a mid diff. No, you don't understand War Priest. Whereas Oryx spends all the time commanding, right? The War Priest is down in the field, is down there doing the fight, and the War Priest knows what it is. Like you can actually see in the picture a little bit. The War Priest has like a nice like 13 pack, just like very, very well sculpted, right? But just like Russell Crowe and Gladiator, right? Like you can be well sculpted all you want. If you don't know how to fight, you don't know how to fight. Russell Crowe knew how to fight in Gladiator, you know? But like Pedro Pascal and Gladiator, okay? Gladiator 2. All right, now the Archon. The Archon, I feel like he'd be a little bit a harder opponent than the final boss here from Wrath the Machine. But you know, like I said, he has one additional arm, an arm made out of Siva built there, so it's just an extra point of leverage. But similar to the reason why War Priest isn't more difficult, right? This is the combat guy. Like you fight him the very first thing as soon as you hop into the raid. So like what I'm doing is I'm jumping up there after throwing bombs, right? And I'm gonna hit a Batista bomb. Like I'm hitting him with like a 619 into like a 9-knuckle shuffle, right? And he's like, ah shit, so he runs away. So he's a little bit of a weaker opponent, but I'm still winning. I'm still winning at the end of the day. Like, okay, you could run back home, you know, like there's no rule in real life that says if you make it back to your house, you are safe, okay? I don't remember what any of these dudes' names are, the last ones, honestly. The dungeon boss from whatever the one on the moon is called, I don't remember. Beneath the necropolis, whatever. All right, I'm winning. This dude is a pushover compared to Crota, at least. This dude just falls over whenever you tickle him. Like he has no HP pool whatsoever. This is one of the easier fights we've seen. It's one of the easier fights that I've seen all day. Not quite as easy as something like a Templar or a whatever the final boss from Eater of Worlds is, but it's still relatively easy. Let's see, this dude right here, Atrax, Sepex, whatever his name is. He has a bad habit of surviving. So it's like you think you win and then he comes back and now he's floating. You think you win and then, he comes back and he's a robot now. He was remade to an exo. It's just one of those things, right? He is so tenacious that it's just going to be hard to deal with whatever's going on right here. So it is one of those things. I think these two bosses are both from Shattered Throne. So the big ogre from Shattered Throne, whatever his name is, same as Golgoroth, the same as Morgeth. They are just big ogres. So it's really just one of those things. Even though Golgoroth's a little bit easier than Morgeth. Actually, no. My logic has to be consistent. I'm getting touched by the big taken ogre from Shattered Throne because it's taken, right? He's just gonna pull up on me and just put me just stomp my chest, man. It's like you don't fight like if I pull up to the arena and Andre the Giant is there, right? Even though I'm only 2'5" and he's only 2'5" as well, right? We're both the same height, 2'5". Like I'm still getting stomped on. And then the final boss from the Shattered Throne, once again, the wizards have an uncanny ability to just scream in your ear, right? So this is it. This is the list of ranking bosses that I would beat in an oiled up wrestling match. So I think I could confidently say I'm beating 5 bosses in the oiled up wrestling match. There are slightly more than 5 bosses down here. I think that's 12. There's a dozen bosses down here that I don't think I would beat at all. These are all the no diffs right here. And then there's around exactly 10 bosses in the middle of the arena where I mean, it's like some of them are 50-50. Some of them are going to be a little bit easier than the others. Some are going to be a little bit harder. You know, it just really is all down to circumstance and what's going on. But yeah, no, this was my list for the oiled up wrestling matches. These are the bosses. Yeah, I gotta fucking re-record this. All right, yeah, so that was my list for the oiled up wrestling matches and who I'm going to beat, who I'm not going to beat. Let me know what you think. Let me know if there's any bosses here that you think are pushovers. If you think that the final boss from the Moon, Pit of Heresy, if you think the final boss from Pit of Heresy is a challenge, right? I can't even remember his name. Like, he's getting no diffed. Let me know. Or if you think that, hey, wait a second, Atheon's getting touched, man. Like, why are you saying that? Why are you saying that Atheon's going to beat you? It's like, just let me know. Just let me know. I'm not going to do any of my usual things. Nobody's going to like this video. Don't click the like button. In fact, if you are subscribed, make sure you unsubscribe from me, because this is the type of content I'm doing from now into the future. 1,000 more years or whatever this is.